Chosen One, watch before 11:59 p.m. or you will miss what God has prepared for you. And I do not say that lightly. I say it because the moment you clicked on this video, something in the spiritual realm locked into place. A door opened. An angel turned its attention towards you. And right now, heaven is watching to see if you will stay or if you will scroll away and let this moment slip through your fingers like every other blessing that almost reached you but did not. This is not entertainment. This is not background noise for your evening. This is a direct word from the throne of the Most High God, delivered to your screen at this exact hour, on this exact night, because you are the one I have been waiting to speak to. Not the millions, not the crowd, you, the one reading this with tired eyes and a heavy chest, the one who almost did not open this video, but something whispered, "Stay." That whisper was me. I know you have been questioning things lately. I know there are nights where you lay in the dark and your mind will not stop spinning. You ask yourself why life feels so heavy when you have done nothing wrong. You ask yourself why people who put in half the effort seem to get double the reward. You wonder if I even see you anymore. And that question, that specific question, is the reason I brought you here tonight. Because I need you to hear something that most chosen ones will never hear. Not because it is hidden, but because they scroll past it too soon. Do not be one of them. What I am about to share with you over the next hour will not just encourage you. It will not just comfort you. It will rearrange the way you understand your entire life up to this point. Every closed door, every betrayal, every season of silence where you begged for an answer and heard nothing. I am going to show you what was happening on the other side of that silence. And when you see it, you will fall to your knees, not in sorrow, in awe. But I need something from you first. I need you to make a decision right now, before we go any further. I need you to decide that you will not leave this video halfway. I need you to decide that for once, you will receive the full message. Because I have watched you do this before. I have watched you start something and stop. I have watched you get close to your breakthrough and then pull back because the pain convinced you that nothing good was coming. Tonight, that pattern dies. But only if you stay. There is a reason you are not where you thought you would be by now. There is a reason your prayers feel like they hit the ceiling and fall back down. There is a reason certain people vanish from your life without warning and without explanation. And no, it is not punishment. I do not punish my chosen ones with silence. I prepare them in it. But before I tell you what I have been preparing you for, stay with me. Because what comes next will completely change how you see what you have been going through. You were not forgotten. You were not skipped. You were not left behind while I blessed everyone else. What happened to you was strategic. Every single second of your waiting had a purpose that your human eyes could not yet see. And tonight, I am pulling back the curtain. Tonight, you get to see what I see. You get to understand what I have been building while you were crying, while you were doubting, while you were whispering in the dark. God, are you even there? I was there. I was always there. And I was not just watching. I was working. By the time this video reaches its final word, you will know exactly why your life unfolded the way it did. You will understand why certain people had to leave. You will understand why the money dried up when it did. you will understand why the loneliness hit so deep and lasted so long. And more than that, you will hear directly from me what is about to enter your life before this month closes. I am not speaking in riddles. I am not giving you empty hope. I am giving you a detailed, specific, undeniable revelation about your next season. And it starts tonight. It starts right now. It starts with you making one simple decision to stay. So if you feel something stirring in your chest right now, if your spirit is telling you do not leave, if something in you knows that this message was not random, then type I am ready in the comments right now. Say it with your whole heart. Say it like you mean it. Because I do not waste words, and I did not bring you here to let you leave empty. Now take a breath, settle in, and listen closely. Because what I am about to tell you, you have been waiting your whole life to hear. Type Amen to affirm that you are here and you are ready to receive. You thought you were hiding it well. You thought that smile was enough to keep everyone from asking questions. You thought that if you just kept moving, kept working, kept showing up, nobody would notice the war going on inside you. And you were right. They did not notice, but I did. I see what you hide, chosen one. I see the version of you that exists after the phone is put down and the lights go off. I see the way your face changes when no one is watching. That heaviness in your chest that shows up at the same time every night. The one that does not have a name, but feels like it weighs more than anything you have ever carried. You do not talk about it. You do not post about it. Some of you have not even cried about it in months because you trained yourself to hold it in. But I need you to hear me when I say this. Holding it together is not the same as being okay. And I never asked you to pretend. There is something you carry that no human being on thy Earth fully understands. Not your closest friend, not your family, not the person sleeping in the same room as you. You have tried to explain it before, and the words came out wrong. So you stopped trying. You convinced yourself that maybe this is just your life now. Maybe the loneliness is permanent. Maybe the tiredness never leaves. Maybe you are just not the kind of person who gets to feel light and free. And I have been waiting for this exact moment to tell you that every single one of those thoughts is a lie. Do not move past this part, because this is where most chosen ones miss what was meant for them. There is a spiritual truth that very few will ever teach you. And it is this: the depth of your pain is directly connected to the size of your calling. I do not allow shallow suffering in the lives of people I have chosen for shallow assignments. The weight you carry is not a sign that I have forgotten you. It is proof that I am building something inside you that the world is not ready for yet. Your sensitivity is not weakness. Your overthinking is not a flaw. The reason you feel everything so deeply is because I designed you to carry revelation that most people could never hold. You have been suffering in silence, and I know exactly how long it has been. I know the exact moment you stopped asking for help. I know the night you decided it was easier to just handle everything alone. And I know how exhausting that has been. So tonight, I am not asking you to be strong. I am asking you to be honest. Just between you and me. Right here, right now. Let the weight fall. You do not need to perform for me. You never did. If you have been suffering in silence, if you have been holding a pain that no one around you sees, type Amen right now, so I know this message reached the right soul. Let that single word be your way of saying, God, I am tired of pretending. Because the mo meant you admit it is the moment I can begin to heal it. Now stay with me, because what I am about to say next is something almost no one talks about. It is about the people who left your life and why their exit was not what you think it was. And when you hear the real reason they had to go, everything you have been feeling will start to make sense. I told you I would explain why certain things took so long. And this is the part where most people get uncomfortable, because the answer is not what you expect. You have been asking me one question more than any other. Maybe not out loud, maybe just in the quiet of your own mind. But I have heard it 1,000 times from your spirit. God, why is it taking so long? Why does everyone else seem to move forward while I stay stuck in the same place? Why do I keep doing the right thing and getting the wrong result? I hear you, and tonight I am giving you the answer. The delay was never punishment. Let me say that again so it reaches the part of you that has been carrying guilt for no reason. The delay was never punishment. You did not do something wrong. You did not miss your window. You are not being disciplined for a mistake you made 5 years ago. What happened was something far more intentional than that, and it requires you to stop looking at your life through human eyes for just a moment and see it through mine. I held things back from you because you were not ready to carry them yet. Not because you are weak, but because what I have prepared for you is so significant that it would have crushed you if it arrived any sooner. There were people in your circle who would have stolen it. There were habits in your heart that would have wasted it. There were wounds in your spirit that would have twisted it into something it was never meant to be. So I waited. And while I waited, I worked on you in ways you could not feel and could not see. Here is something very few people understand about how I operate. I do not just prepare the blessing. I prepare the person who will carry it. A gift placed in the wrong hands at the wrong time does not become a blessing. It becomes a burden. And I love you too much to hand you something that would break you. So yes, it took long. Yes, it felt unfair. Yes, you watched others receive what you prayed for. But what they received and what I have set aside for you are not the same thing. Not even close. And the proof of that will become obvious very soon. Stay with me right here, because this next part will settle something that has been troubling your spirit for months. You thought the silence meant I was gone. You thought the closed doors meant I said no, but a closed door and a not yet are two very different things, and you have been confusing them. Every door that shut in your face was me standing on the other side of it saying, not this one. I have something better. Not later. Better. And the reason you could not see it is because I needed you in that exact position of surrender before the next door could open. Here is the truth no one says out loud. You were never behind. You were never late. You were never falling apart. You were being held in a season of preparation so precise that even the angels assigned to you had to be patient. So if you are finally ready to stop fighting my timing and start trusting it, even when it hurts, even when it makes no sense, type 777 in the comments right now. Let that number be your declaration that you will stop rushing what I am perfecting. And now, I need to take you somewhere deeper, because the delay is only part of the story. The other part involves the people who walked out of your life, and what I am about to reveal about their departure. is something that will shake loose a grief you have been holding for far too long. There's a face in your mind right now. I did not even have to say a name. The moment I mentioned people who left, your heart pulled up a memory before your brain could stop it. That is not an accident. That is your spirit telling you there is still something unresolved in that place. And I brought you to this exact moment in this message because it is time to release what that person left behind in you. You loved them. I know you did. Whether it was a friend, a partner, a family member, or someone you trusted with parts of yourself you do not show to just anyone. You gave them access to rooms inside you that most people do not even know exist. And when they left, they did not just walk away. They took a piece of your peace with them. They left a door open that let the cold in. And ever since then, you have been trying to close that door by yourself. But you could not, because you kept hoping they would come back and close it for you. They are not coming back. And I need you to hear that not as cruelty, but as mercy. Because the longer you wait for someone I already removed, the longer you delay what I already prepared. I did not take them to hurt you. I moved them because they were standing in the doorway of your next season, and they did not even know it. Some of them were good people. I am not telling you they were evil, but a person does not have to be bad to be wrong for where you are going. A good person in the wrong position can block a blessing just as easily as an enemy can. Do not move past this part, because this is where most chosen ones miss what was meant for them. There is a spiritual principle that operates in the lives of every person I have called to something greater. It is the principle of divine subtraction. Before I add what is meant for you, I must subtract what is not. And subtraction always feels like loss. It feels like punishment. It feels like the floor dropping out from beneath you. But I was not taking your foundation. I was removing a ceiling. The very people you are mourning are the ones who would have kept you small, not because they wanted to, but because their vision for your life was limited to what they could understand. And where I am taking you, they could not follow. Here is what no one told you about the ones who left. Their exit was not a rejection of who you are. It was a reaction to who you are becoming. Something shifted in your spirit that made them uncomfortable, and they could not name it, so they blamed you for it. They called you distant. They said you changed. And they were right. You did change. Because I was changing you. And the people who are meant for your next chapter will not be threatened by your growth. They will be drawn to it. So right now, if someone's face came to your mind while I was speaking, if your chest got tight and your eyes got heavy, type "God knows" in the comments. You do not have to explain who it is. You do not have to tell the story. Just type those 2 words and let that be your way of saying, "God, I am giving this person back to you. I am done carrying what was never mine to hold." Now take a slow breath. Let your shoulders drop, because the heaviest part is almost over. But what comes next is something I need you to be fully present for. I am about to talk about the war that has been happening inside your mind. The thoughts that come at night. The voices that tell you that you are not enough. And I am going to tell you exactly where those thoughts come from and why they are targeting you specifically. Stay right here. I told you I was going to reveal where those thoughts come from. The ones that hit you at 3 in the morning when the world is quiet and your mind refuses to be. The ones that whisper you are falling behind. You are not good enough. Nobody, actually cares about you. You have been listening to those voices for so long that you started to believe they were your own. But I need you to understand something tonight that will change the way you fight from this moment on. Those thoughts were never yours. They were planted. There is a war being waged against your mind, and it did not start by accident. It started the moment I marked you, the moment I set you apart and placed a calling over your life. A target was placed on your mind. Not your body, not your finances, your mind. Because the enemy knows something you are only beginning to realize. If he can control the way you think, he does not need to touch anything else. He does not need to take your job. He does not need to destroy your relationships. All he needs to do is convince you that you are worthless, and you will destroy everything yourself. That has been his strategy. And until tonight, it was working. But here is why the attack has been so heavy lately. Here is the part that most people never connect. The intensity of the warfare is not proof that you are losing. It is proof that you are close. The enemy does not waste ammunition on people who are not a threat. He does not assign his strongest spirits of confusion and heaviness to people who carry no authority. The fact that your mind has been under siege, the fact that you have been battling thoughts of giving up, thoughts of walking away, thoughts that tell you nothing will ever change, that is evidence that something massive is about to shift in your life. He is not fighting you because you are weak. He is fighting you because he has seen what I am about to hand you, and it terrifies him. Stay right here with me, because this part is critical and most chosen ones miss it. There is a spiritual truth that changes everything once you receive it. The enemy cannot create. He can only distort. He takes you, our memories, and replays them with the wrong meaning attached. He takes your failures and puts them on an endless loop. He takes the words people said to you in your lowest moments, and he amplifies them until they become the only voice you can hear. But none of it is real. It is a projection, a counterfeit version of reality designed to make you quit 3 steps before your breakthrough. And you almost believed it. You almost let those thoughts win. I am telling you right now, with the full authority of heaven behind every word, you are not losing your mind. You are not falling apart. You are not crazy for feeling the things you feel. You are under attack because you are anointed. And the same power that raised the dead, that split the sea, that shut the mouths of lions, that power lives inside you right now. You just forgot how to use it. But I am going to remind you, not tomorrow, not next week. Before this video ends, you will know exactly how to silence every lie the enemy has been feeding you. And he knows it. That is why he tried so hard to make you scroll past this video tonight. If your mind has been a battlefield lately, if the thoughts have been relentless, and the heaviness has felt unbearable, type 1111 in the comments right now. Let those numbers be your declaration that the war over your mind ends tonight. You are taking your authority back. And what I am about to share next, almost no one talks about this. But it will completely change how you see what has been happening behind the scenes of your life while you were busy surviving. Because while you were fighting, I was building, and you have not seen any of it yet. Until now. I told you that while you were fighting, I was building. And I meant every word of that. But I know a part of you still has doubt. A part of you is listening to this and thinking, that sounds beautiful. But my life does not look like Anne. Nothing is being built. It looks like everything is falling apart, and I understand why you feel that way. Because I have been working in a place you cannot see. I have been moving in rooms you were never invited into. And I have been having conversations about you with people whose names you do not even know yet. Let me tell you what I was doing on the nights you cried yourself to sleep. I was rearranging, not just one thing. I was shifting people into position who will play a role in your next chapter that you cannot even comprehend right now. I was closing businesses that would have hired you into environments that would have drained the life out of you. I was ending relationships that felt like love, but were designed to keep you distracted from the very thing I built you to do. You thought it was chaos. It was construction. And the blueprint has always been in my hands. There were moments over the past year where you felt a strange silence. Not just loneliness, but something deeper, like the entire universe went quiet around you. That silence scared you. It made you feel abandoned. But do not move past this part, because this is where most chosen ones miss what was meant for them. That silence was not abandonment. That was an incubation period. I do my deepest work in the seasons where you hear nothing. I do not announce my movements. I do not send warnings before I bless. I move in silence and deliver in suddenly. And the suddenly is almost here. Here is something that will shift the way you understand my nature. I do not just work on your behalf. I work ahead of you. Right now, in this very moment, there are situations being resolved that you have not even encountered yet. There are problems being removed from your path that you do not know exist. There are people being softened toward you who right now have no idea why they keep thinking about you. T is my hand. That is what I do for the ones I have chosen. I do not wait for you to ask. I go ahead of you and prepare the ground so that when you arrive, the harvest is already waiting. Here is the truth no one says out loud. You were never forgotten in that waiting season. You were being protected from a version of success that would have destroyed you. I know you saw others getting what you prayed for. I know you watched them celebrate while you sat in silence. But what you did not see was the cost of what they received. You did not see the strings attached. You did not see the sleepless nights they do not post about. I was not withholding your blessing. I was customizing it, because what I give my chosen ones does not come with sorrow attached. It comes complete, and complete takes time. You have been looking at your life and seeing emptiness. I have been looking at your life and seeing a canvas that is almost finished. The final brushstrokes are happening right now. Not next year, not next month, now. And what is about to be revealed will make every single second of your waiting feel worth it. If you believe that I have been working even when you could not see it, even when every circumstance told you otherwise, type "I believe" in the comments right now. Say it with your whole heart, because your faith in this moment is activating something that doubt has been blocking for months. Now stay close to me, because the next thing I am about to speak over you is about the gift you carry inside you. The one the world tried to silence. The one people made you feel ashamed of. I am about to tell you exactly why they fought so hard to make you hide it. And when you hear the reason, you will never shrink yourself again. There is something inside you that you stop talking about. A gift. A pull. A knowing that lives somewhere deep in your chest that you have been pushing due. One for years. Maybe it is a creative ability. Maybe it is the way you see things that others miss. Maybe it is a sensitivity so sharp that you feel the energy of a room before a single word is spoken. Whatever it is, you used to let it breathe. You used to trust it. But then someone said something. Or maybe several people said something. And their words did not just discourage you. They made you feel like the very thing that made you different was the very thing that made you wrong. So you hid it. You tucked it away somewhere safe where no one could mock it again. You started performing a version of yourself that the world found more acceptable, more normal, more predictable. And on the surface it worked. People stopped questioning you. But underneath, something started dying. That fire in your belly that used to wake you up with ideas and purpose, it went quiet. And you told yourself it was maturity. You told yourself you were being realistic. But that was not maturity. That was murder. You were killing the very thing I placed inside you before you took your first breath. Let me tell you why they attacked your gift. Do not move past this part, because this is where most chosen ones miss what was meant for them. The people who criticized what you carry did not do it because your gift was small. They did it because your gift made them feel small. What I placed inside you carries a frequency that disrupts everything operating at a lower level. Your presence alone shifts the atmosphere of rooms you walk into, and most people do not know how to handle that. So they labeled you too intense, too emotional, too sensitive, too much. But too much for them does not mean too much for me. I designed you that way on purpose. Every layer of depth they complained about is a layer I built with intention. Here is a spiritual truth that very few teachers will share with you. Your gift is not just a talent, it is a weapon. It was placed inside you to dismantle systems of darkness that have been operating unchallenged for generations. The enemy knows this. That is why he sent people into your life, to make you ashamed of it before you could ever learn how to use it. He was not attacking your confidence. He was trying to disarm you. Because a chosen one who does not know what they carry is a soldier who does not know they have a sword. And as long as you keep your sword hidden, the darkness has nothing to fear. Here is the truth no one says out loud. You were never too much. You were always surrounded by people who were not enough to handle what I placed inside you. And that is not their fault. They were not built for your frequency. But the ones who were built for it, they are coming. And when they arrive, you will finally understand what it feels like to be fully seen without having to shrink a single part of who you are. So I am asking you right now, are you done hiding? Are you done apologizing for the fire I put in your bones? Are you ready to step into the fullness of what I created you to carry? If you are, type MY time is now in the comments. Say it with authority. Say it like the chosen one you are. Because the season of shrinking is over, and I will not let you go back to playing small. Now listen carefully, because the next thing I am about to tell you is directly tied to tonight. This is not about someday. This is not about next year. What I am about to speak over your life is connected to this very night, before the clock strikes midnight. And what happens in your spirit over the next few minutes will determine whether you receive it or let it pass you by. This is the part of the message I have been building towards since the very first word. Everything I said before was preparation. Every truth I revealed, every wound I touched, every lie ID is mantled was leading you right here to this moment. Because what I am about to release over your life is not a general blessing. It is not a maybe. It is not a someday. It is a right now word that carries the weight of heaven behind it. And I need you fully present for what comes next. There is a reason you are watching this tonight and not tomorrow. There is a reason your spirit would not let you sleep. There is a reason you kept feeling pulled back to the screen every time your mind tried to wander. I operate in appointed times, not random ones. And this night, this specific night, is an appointed time over your life. Before the clock moves past midnight, something is going to break open in your spirit that has been sealed shut for years. Not weeks, not months, years. You have been carrying a blockage in your life that has affected everything. Your finances, your relationships, your health, your clarity. And tonight that blockage is being removed. Not because you earned it, but because the time I set for it has finally arrived. Do not move past this part, because this is where most chosen ones miss what was meant for them. There is a spiritual principle called the midnight shift. Throughout Scripture, the most powerful breakthroughs did not happen at noon when everything was bright and visible. They happened at midnight, in the darkest hour. Paul and Silas were in chains at midnight when the prison doors flew open. It was at midnight when the angel of death passed over the homes that were marked with blood. The midnight hour is not just a time on the clock. It is a spiritual threshold. And right now, you are standing at that threshold. The question is whether you will step through it or stand at the edge and watch it close. Here is the truth no one says out loud. Most people miss their midnight blessing because they fall asleep right before it arrives. Not physical. Lie asleep. Spiritually asleep. They get so tired of waiting that they stop expecting. They get so worn down by disappointment that they stop believing anything will change. And the blessing comes, but their hands are not open to receive it. That will not be you. Not tonight. I did not bring you through everything you survived just to let you sleep through your own miracle. I am speaking directly to your spirit right now. Wake up. Shake off the doubt. Shake off the heaviness. Shake off every word that anyone has spoken over you that contradicts what I am saying in this moment. You are standing in the most important hour of your entire year, and you did not even realize it until now. Something is shifting in the atmosphere around your life as these words enter your ears. Doors that rusted shut are starting to creak open. Chains that held your purpose hostage are beginning to crack. And by the time this night is over, you will feel a lightness in your spirit that you have not felt in so long you forgot it was possible. This is your midnight. This is your moment. This is the hour I chose for you before the foundation of the world. So if you are claiming this breakthrough right now, if you are standing at this threshold with open hands and an open heart, type 1159 in the comments. Let that number be your stake in the ground. Let it be the marker that separates the old season from the new one, because there is no going back after tonight. Now stay with me, because what comes next is the part most people never receive. I am about to give you specific instructions, not general wisdom, not vague encouragement. Direct orders from the throne for what you are to do in this next season. And if you follow them, what I have promised you tonight will manifest faster than anything you have experienced before. You have heard the promises. You have felt the shift in your spirit. Now I need you to hear this next part with a different kind of attention. Because what I am about to give you is not comfort. It is not encouragement. It is a command. And the chosen ones who act on what I say next are the ones whose lives will never look the same after tonight. This is the part where I stop wiping your tears and start giving you your orders. The first thing I need you to do is cut the noise. Starting tomorrow morning, I need you to guard the first hour of your day like it is sacred ground. Because it is. Right now, the enemy has access to your mind the moment your eyes open, because the first thing you reach for is your phone. You scroll through the lives of strangers before you even speak a word to the one who created you. And that habit alone has been draining your spiritual power more than you realize. I am not asking you to pray for 3 hours. I am asking you to give me the first minutes before the world gets them. Sit in silence. Speak to me. Listen. That one shift will change the trajectory of everything that follows. The second instruction is harder. I need you to stop explaining yourself to people who have already decided who you are. You have been spending energy trying to prove your worth to people who made up their minds about you a long time ago. Every explanation you give them is a piece of your anointing you are handing over for free. And they do not even value it. From tonight on, let your silence speak. Let your results testify. The people who are meant to understand you will not need a presentation. They will recognize what I placed in you the moment they encounter it. Do not move past this part, because this is where most chosen ones miss what was meant for them. The third instruction is the one that will require the most faith. I need you to start moving toward the thing that scares you. You know exactly what I am talking about. That idea, T. Hat keeps coming back no matter how many times you push it away. That calling you have been negotiating with me about for months. The door you keep walking up to and then backing away from because you are afraid of what happens if it actually opens. I am telling you tonight, walk through it. Do not wait until you feel ready. You will never feel ready. Readiness is not a feeling. It is a decision. And I am asking you to decide. Here is a spiritual truth that most people will never grasp. Obedience unlocks more than prayer does. I hear millions of prayers every second, but the ones that move my hand the fastest are not the longest or the loudest. They are the ones followed by action. When you obey before you understand, you activate a level of favor that explanations could never earn. I do not need you to understand the full plan. I need you to take the first step. The rest of the staircase appears only after your foot hits the first one. Here is the truth no one says out loud. Most chosen ones do not miss their blessing because of the enemy. They miss it because they keep waiting for permission from people who do not carry their calling. You do not need anyone's approval to step into what I ordained for you. The approval already came. It came the day I chose you. And tonight, I am confirming it again. If you are ready to stop negotiating and start obeying, if you are ready to follow these instructions, even when they do not make sense to your natural mind, type IOBE in the comments right now. Let those words be your covenant with me tonight. Not just emotion, action. Now stay right here because this is the final word I am going to speak over you tonight. And it is the most important one. Everything in this message was building to what I am about to say in the last few minutes. Do not leave before you hear it, because this final seal is what locks everything I have can into your life permanently. Before you go, stay with this one last message carefully. This may be the most important thing spoken in this entire video, because everything I have said over the past hour means nothing if you leave without carrying this final truth in your spirit. So let these last words land somewhere deep, somewhere permanent, somewhere the enemy cannot reach. You came into this video carrying things you did not even have words for. You were tired in a way sleep could not fix. You were lonely in a way crowds could not solve. You were questioning whether anything was ever going to change, or whether this was just how your life was always going to feel. Heavy, overlooked, stuck in a loop of hoping and hurting. I saw all of it, and I brought you here anyway. Not to give you a temporary feeling, but to permanently shift the way you see yourself and the life I have been building for you in secret. Tonight, I showed you that your pain was never pointless, that the delay was protection, that the people who left were not your loss, but your liberation, that the war on your mind was proof of your power, not your weakness, that the gift you buried is the very weapon I need you to carry, and that this midnight hour is not the end of something. It is the beginning of everything I promised you when I first formed you in the dark before the world even knew your name. Everything you just heard, you already knew it. Deep inside, you just needed a voice to remind you that it was always true. That is what tonight was. Not information. Remembrance. I was not teaching you something new. I was waking up something ancient that has been living inside you since before you were born, and now that it is awake, it cannot go back to sleep. You are not the same person who pressed play on this video. Something shifted. Something unlocked. And the evidence of that shift will begin, showing up in your life faster than you expect. This was not just a video. This was a divine appointment. And out of the millions who could have been here tonight, you were the one who stayed. You were the one who did not scroll away. You were the one whose spirit said, I am not leaving until I receive what belongs to me. And that kind of faith does not go unrewarded. Not with me. Not ever. So here is my final ask. Not as a demand, but as an invitation between you and me. If this message touched something in you that nothing else has been able to reach, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell. Not for numbers, not for algorithms, but because the next message I send through here might be the one that carries your next breakthrough. And I do not want you to miss it the way you almost missed this one. Share this video with one person who needs to hear this before midnight. You already know who they are. Their face was in your mind before I even finished that sentence. Type Amen one final time as your seal over everything spoken tonight. And type 1212 to claim the miracles that are already on their way to you. I do not break my promises. And I am not starting with you. Now go in peace, but go differently than you came, because you are not who you were an hour ago. And tomorrow morning, when the sun rises, you will feel it. I love you. I chose you. And I am not finished with you yet.